Here he is.
And he's back after 3 weeks.
Yeah, baby. And I've never gotta keep to the tradition of being late. I was watching fucking Peaky Blinders.
And did you recognize the time, or were you just like, eh?
No, I had no idea, bro. I was like, I knew that it was sometime soon, but the next episode of Peaky Blinders started playing, so I was like, oh, I can't stop it.
What part of Peaky Blinders were you on?
Oh, I just started it today, so I'm on episode 4.
Are you enjoying it?
Yeah, I really like it.
Alright, it's pretty good.
One sec. Let me move over to my computer.
You've never seen Peaky Blinders, Takeshi?
No, I have not seen it. I know all the references, but I haven't actually seen it.
Oh, I would. I mean, I think I've only seen 2 seasons, but I really enjoyed it for when I watched it. I think it's definitely the first season is really, really worth a watch.
Isn't it just 1800s UK or something?
No, it's post-war, World War II.
Post-war, okay.
Based on a gang.
In Birmingham.
Yeah, I really like it so far. I mean, it's like I had my last university deadline today, and I did it. So I was like, I'll start watching some TV.
Surfing's actually doing work.
Oh yeah, of course, bro.
What defines a mafia and what defines a gang? We don't have a mafia here, do we, in the UK?
I don't know. I'm not gonna. Yeah, I'm gonna. I think is a mafia not more. I don't want to say family based, but it's more like.
Well, I mean, if it's family based, would you not class the Peaky Blinders as a mafia then? Because they're based on family.
Yeah, maybe.
I don't know. Anyway, how's my homie, my boy, my first friend in ID2L? Dekait, how you doing, bro?
Hello.
How are you? How's your girlfriend? All good, I assume?
Yeah, it's a bit hard when she's from another school, you wouldn't know.
Yeah, exactly.
I wouldn't know.
Nice girls are always from
You're
another
not wrong.
school.
But yeah, I've been pretty good. I started playing ranked again.
I saw. Are you winning or are you losing?
Mostly, I'd say I'm above the 50%. So that's good. Force 50%, let's go.
What's your MMR check? Right now.
Almost 5.9.
Oh, it's climbing!
Let's go, dude.
Who the fuck is this guy? 6k soon? And he washed up haters of Dekait in chat?
Level 25's coming
I've got to admit, I was a bit of a Dekait doubter.
Yeah, but you doubted me though as well, Mario, so...
I still doubt you, though, a lot.
Feel you, bro. I'm a head out, boys. It's been fun.
Yeah, I was a bit of a Dekait doubter. I don't know what gave me the impression that you were sandbagged. No, that you were boosted. I don't know what it was.
Probably him, right? Because he literally always says he's washed. He's just a liar.
True.
And then I played a game with you, and then you crushed, and I was like, oh, okay, no, he can play Dota.
He's a god.
I remember Moyo game. That was pretty cool.
I think we won, didn't we? Yeah, I think we did.
Yeah.
But so what's your peak been then? Is this your peak?
No, I think my peak was 6.2, almost 6.3. But I climbed to the MMR, and it was very mentally taxing. It was several years back when I was a young boy. I was 16 or whatever.
I'm Dekait.
And
when you were 16 was only a couple years ago. Damn.
For me it's a while. But yeah, I climbed there. I'm like, okay, I'm immortal, but I don't really like this. It was much worse than now. I think everybody was much more toxic. Everybody was screaming all the time. I'm like, fuck this. This is not worth it. I'm just gonna chill with my friends in unranked, and that's when I started playing unranked and pretty much stopped playing ranked.
The realization kicked in that you were washed.
Yeah. I think the funny thing is that everybody's Decade's watch, but I started that. I just said it a few times, so people because I felt I used to play better, but maybe I was playing decent for my MMR, but I knew I used to play better, so I'm like, okay, guys, I might be a bit washed. I didn't want them to think I'm gonna go 12-0 every game and carry or whatever. But yeah, I guess it got pretty caught on, and now everybody just says I'm washed, and it's good for me.
The first team we were ever in together was that deadly King of the Hill stack, right? And I remember when I asked Lavi who our mid laner was, he's like some 6.1k that's washed. So maybe it was you who told Lavi, and then Lavi started the whole thing.
Yeah, it could be. Because I was washed. Like, I didn't play ranked already when I first came to RD12. So it's not like I ever was unwashed per se when I was in RD12. So yeah, I think it was probably me.
You signing up for Wednesday, by the way?
I think I am. I should. I need to check with how my summer job is gonna go and all. But I think I should find at least 1 or 2 days if the team wants to scrim per week play.
You're on Clarity team, right?
Yeah, I'm on the Harway team.
I forgot who's in that team.
Was 6.3 or 6.2 like a numbered immortal back then?
Yeah, it was.
Yeah. It was pretty
it
high.
Was like
wasn't it? Kind of
no,
high.
no. It
Was it
actually
not?
was like. I think like I still have. If I check my Dota buff, I think it's still bugged from that time, and it was like 4.2k immortal, I believe.
Oh, that's cool.
So yeah, I was somebody back then. I had numbers.
Yeah, that's crazy.
And what's your summer job gonna be?
My summer job, I still gotta see. Like ideally, like 2 years back, I was a receptionist for this fancy hotel we got here.
Oh, nice.
And
where is here? What country?
Czech Republic.
Czech Republic. Nice.
Beautiful place.
Depends, I guess. The capital's pretty nice, but I'm like living more in the outskirts. If you want to call it like that.
The slums.
Yeah, I guess if you're visiting Czech Republic, you could call it the slums.
I guess. So then, what's the new job gonna be then?
I'm still waiting for like replies, but it's either gonna be this or I'm gonna be sitting behind a desk selling wine. I think.
Selling wine. Let's go.
I'm gonna sneak some here and there, Kappa.
Kappa, but I know you're not joking.
Nah, what do you take me for?
An alcoholic, that's what.
Oh, a guy that loves wine.
I mean, we like our wine here. I'm not gonna lie. But yeah, the receptionist job was really cool when I was doing it, because like if no customers came in the evening and nobody was supposed to come at night, I could just vibe. We had this hotel room that was specifically for staff, and it was like really nicely furnitured with a really big bed. And I think I realized only at the end of my summer job, but I just took my laptop there and my mouse and shit, and I just played Dota because I didn't feel like sleeping. So it was pretty good job, not gonna lie.
Yeah, I think hotels are fun. I mean, because they're always like there's always people there. Like I worked at a hotel bar, and it was really fun because you had like really random shifts, but you also like got to chat to lots of different people. I mean, when I was there, it was the World Cup, and we would always just have it on, and all the guys would come watch the football, and it'd be a buzzing atmosphere.
And you'd be the guy bringing up Dota randomly.
Well, actually, one of the guys there played Dota.
Oh.
Yeah, and he was like Ancient One or something, and he was good. And he was like, but he only worked in night shift. He only like I would finish at like 11, and he would come and work from like 11 till 6, which was just like super cursed.
Jesus, only night shifts.
Yeah,
your whole life is upside down then, right?
Yeah,
Jesus.
But so no, I think it's good. I think that's fun. I was gonna ask you guys. I was having a discussion with my friends. What do you guys think about surrender button in Dota?
Oh, shut, bro.
It's very.
No, but I think because there's the win probability, right? If it calculates that there's like an 85% or like maybe 90% win rate, then it gives you the option. Otherwise, it just wouldn't.
Oh no, we ain't League. Fuck that shit.
I guess the win probability calculation will have to improve before
It's
that was
pretty good
implemented.
though. It's pretty
Yeah,
good.
like
Right now.
it is decent, but sometimes it's just gonna straight up do weird calculations just because you got like I don't know Medusa.
Zeus, yeah, or Zeus versus
Yeah.
Tinker, stuff like that.
Yeah, pretty much. Even if they're like getting smacked, but like most of the games, very rarely do I find myself wanting to like give up. But sometimes when somebody is running down mid and has like 0-20, then you know, when they're already smacking your barracks, that would be pretty cool.
But you'd probably be in those games, right, where you haven't like given up, but you can tell it's probably over.
Yeah.
So then you're just playing for the sake of playing. Do you think in those situations you'd rather have a surrender button or not?
Hard to tell.
I think because sorry to cut you off, but it's like I think it's gonna depend a lot on your teammates, right? Because a lot of people think like there's a difference between people thinking a game is over and a game is winnable, right?
True.
Everyone have their own like slightly different opinion.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you could argue that let's make it if 4 out of 5 people agree, or 5 out of 5 people. But if somebody is griefing on purpose, he's gonna decline the surrender. And sometimes you would think it's winnable, and the rest of your team wouldn't. So they would accept the surrender, but you wouldn't. And then potentially of course, it would be like most likely anonymous, the voting, but it would just create more fighting in the team, I think.
Yeah, that's true. I think in low ranks it definitely shouldn't, because I've seen games flip flop so fucking hard. I've seen matchups that shouldn't win just straight up win. Like I was watching my uni mates play, and they were losing to the Slara, and they were crying. And then I think I just said, "Why don't you just ulti him on Pudge?" And they did that, and then they just won every fight after that. And they just won the game. But they all wanted to just go through it. They wanted to just end it. They were like just so done. And then that one thing completely changed it around. Well, that as well as them actually like landing spells. But you know, like just small things like that really does change it. So I don't know. I really feel like maybe like higher rank should maybe have it because they're better at deciding. But then there's more emotion, so maybe they wouldn't be as suited. I don't know. What do you think, Moy? Because you're the one that asked.
Well, I think it should. If it was in, I think it should only be in unranked.
Oh yeah. Yeah,
and I think unranked would be a good place to try it.
Yeah. Then I could just GG out of LL stacks.
And I think, well, I think what you'd get with that is like you could implement stuff like let's say your team do it. Your team then gets like a 25-minute cooldown of being able to queue again, or like or something, or let's imagine. No, I don't know. That's too complicated. But yeah, I just think it could work, but I know for like some of my friends, like I've got a friend who will just kind of come on every now and then, and for him, like when someone's griefing a game, it's just not worth his time. He's like, I just want to abandon because I'm just not having a good time. I just want to go next. Like, and I only get to play 2 games in an evening, but because of this, at least one of them is going to be 70 minutes long with this guy just farming in jungle. So, or the other occasion I've had is where a team didn't want to end. They were like 20k ahead, and our draft was terrible. We had and like it just everything was bad. And every time we came out of our base, they would kill us and then go back into jungle and farm.
And then they'd hold you hostage for like another 10 minutes. Yeah, I've been guilty of that.
And that was the worst experience I've had. I wanted a surrender button definitely then.
I can't stand fountain farmers. So Takeshi, you
No, it's not even fountain farming. Like you don't take their tier 3s. You just wait for them to leave, and then you just kill them before they like get back.
Yeah,
but
I don't know what those people have issues.
I mean, the only thing I could say is just next time you try and do it. I don't know. That's like.
Yeah, I guess I don't know. Like it's the thing is that I want to play like a good game. Of course, you want to win, but if you're winning like super hard, it's not enjoyable anymore. At least for me, because you might as well just click spells with your mouse, and if you're still winning, it's just I don't know. I just don't feel like it's time well spent. Like, sure, you get a W on your profile, you get a green, but to me, it doesn't feel satisfying. Like, I find myself sometimes bored, even if you're winning. And at that point, I'd rather just end the game also, rather than stay like that, like some people do, which is why I never understood that. But
also,
again, I guess
yeah, and it might make a thing where weak-minded players always are losing because they're always surrendering, whereas like strong-willed players will actually like succeed because they won't surrender and they'll play it a full game.
Well, then you get like this weird metas like in League where it's like, oh, cool GG at 15, guys, and like they give up minute 5. I've seen this. They give up minute 5 and they say GG at 15, and they just don't play. They just they do the thing where they just farm. And they're just trying to get their own fun out. And then the minute the 15-minute marker hits, boom, instant surrender button. And I just say no every time. Like, fuck you.
Yeah.
Every time. But
maybe what about if you're in a 5 stack? If you're in a 5 stack, then you're allowed to do it. But if you're not in a 5 stack.
Well, you can just talk to your friends and be like.
Yeah, but then like instead, because then it's not affecting people who you don't know. It's affecting people who you've chosen to queue with.
I guess, yeah. But then, like, if you're playing with friends anyway, you could just say, "Oh, yeah, we've lost this one. Let's just try and do something."
Yeah, but then they can still prolong the game on enemies.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah.
I just think it's an interesting thought. But I probably am against it overall. But I just think it's an interesting kind of concept to think about in the game.
Yeah, I guess it's just because we all know that despite the game being snowbally, it's not like League where like it's very difficult to come back. Like we will be in those games where rubber bands, like whoever dies mid first loses because then the other team goes mid, or like whoever dies mid wins because they go mid, die, then the other team goes mid, dies, then the other team buys back, goes mid and wins or dies, and then the other team goes in and goes mid and kills the throne. Like how many games have you been where it's like that? Like it's just rubber bands back and forth.
Yeah, I mean, you're describing pretty much every RD2L game ever.
I lost a ranked game today or yesterday when we had mega creeps. Very sad experience.
Yeah. Did you think you were going to win, or were you not convinced?
Absolutely. The only reason we lost the game is because my team didn't listen to me at a crucial point in the game.
Oh. The classic. It's the team, guys.
It's my team not listening.
It's my team, guys.
Bro, literally, I was watching this game back with Snufkin and they couldn't stop fucking laughing. So I'm playing Thanking, right? And it's 55 minutes into the game. The only reason they're remotely in the game is because this Jug has double rapier on the enemy team.
Is that okay on the other enemy team?
So he has double rapier on the enemy team, right? So we have Megas. His team is in the so they're Radiant. So his team is in the off lane pushing that out, and he's pushing the safe lane out, right? And I called that he's going to this wave. I called that he's going to go to the next wave. And I'm yelling at my team. I just need 1+1. Like my Morphling that has Axe can turn into me. I stun him, I sheep him, he dies, 2 rapiers for us, the game's over. So I stun him, I sheep him, I look, my team is 2 light years away, and then my team eventually gets there, and because they're not immediately there when I called it, we just die and lose the game.
Immediately die. Yeah, because
my team listened to me, we'd have killed him, the game would be over.
Yeah, I think it's an interesting conversation because like everyone has like a different perspective on who is responsible, and I'm sure people in your team would have said, "Why did you go on him? He's got 2 rapiers."
No, they all agreed that they should have been there.
Well,
that's hindsight. Maybe but they wouldn't have agreed.
Yeah, but I mean, I'm talking about in general, like people always have differing opinions. And
Yeah,
I think one thing that I kind of when I met S4, because I will always talk about that, one thing that kind of struck me about him was his like kind of like calm nature. He like almost lost a mid battle to a guy, and he was just super calm. And I was like, and even I heard his team talking about him. It's like even when we're losing, he's just like, oh, that's unfortunate. He doesn't ever like, and I think like having an attitude like that is probably going to get you further than being super into it. Because I get so like But I've tried to like calm down recently just to like make it a bit more like I can control and move
I
on.
understand what you're saying, but I mean, it's like I wasn't like overly into it. I was like, this guy's gonna push this way. We should kill him here. I'm going. And then my team didn't do anything, so I was like, all right, we lost. It was very like unemotional. I was like, all right, we just lost.
I posted in general. Have you guys seen that meme? It was like, who's to blame for losing?
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think there's an interesting thought experiment with this. I think it should judge you on how good your decision is.
Well, I mean, how is it meant to do that? It's subjective, clearly. Like,
Well, you could look at a lot of different things. How does Dota Buff know if you've won or lost a lane? Huh? How does it know?
calculates net worth and damage.
yeah, probably.
Well, then why doesn't it do the same for this?
Because it's a lot easier to do it for 10 minutes than it is for 40 minutes.
I guess.
I feel like a lot of people have it like a lot of people have like different reasoning, like right why a game is lost. Like let's say Decait's playing a game, right, and he's 12-0 and he dies once because he's out of position. Then and the game just
surface install.
and the game's
That's
just
why.
over. Decait's gonna blame his team. His team is gonna blame Decait for being out of position and dying once after playing perfectly the entire game, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I don't like that when I've like I actually those are the games that I get most like annoyed at are the games where I've played well the whole game and I make one mistake and then they push high ground and win. And I'm like,
those give or like
Yeah.
everyone's fighting around Roche for like 10 minutes and that decides the game. I hate solo for that. Everyone's fighting around Roche. No one has any idea what they're doing. They all panic. Everyone's just buying back at random times just for like just an Aegis. Like it's not even like getting the Aegis is going to win us the game. It's more of like whoever stops buybacking, whoever just gives up the fight's going to win the game. It's not even about the Roche anymore. It's just about who has the grit to like keep going with the stupid fight. The amount of games I've lost to that is just unreal. It's insane. Like, who do you blame? It's like herd mentality. Everyone just keeps going in the pit. It's like, who do you blame? I don't know. It's so fucked.
Takeshi. MMR check. You've been winning a lot on off lane.
5860.
I heard you've been winning on off lane Conqueror a lot.
Yes, I have. A man chooses, a slave obeys. Fuck Axe. I play Kunkka. That is me. But I think there are definitely games where you can just blame someone. Like I think me and Dekait were in like a 3 a.m. match or something, and we had a Slark level 14 account that was not a Smurf.
He was just bad, right?
Yeah. I think we would all agree we would know why we lost that if we did. We didn't.
But why did he? Why
Because we're just that good.
How are you queuing into that guy? How is that guy queuing into you guys more?
It's just over 10-minute queue, so unranked over 10-minute queue just fucks every like all the ranks and stuff.
Is that how it works?
Yeah. That's how that's why like all the like the known unranked stacks sometimes get stomps because they wait like above 12 minutes and then they just get a free game. Or they get a really hard game.
I realize that's how it works.
Yeah, that's how it works.
And this is what makes Dota like kind of this is the reason why Dota is a hard game to get into. It's not because the game is hard, although that is a reason why the game is hard to get into. The biggest reason is that if you're new, you just get absolutely flamed.
I agree, yeah. And I've experienced this with Guilty Gear, where I've been trying to get into it, but like instead of getting flamed, you're just literally like it's a 1v1 game. So if you're just worse than him, you're just gonna lose. And I'm like what? I think I'm like 120 to 270 or something right now. I'm like,
what does that mean?
Like so win rate.
Oh, okay.
I'm just dumpstered every fucking game. But like it's just that's the nature of hard games. I guess it's like a mixture of Dota of flame and being being shat on, because at least with 1v1 games, the only person you can blame is yourself, and you can maybe forgive yourself or learn from it. Well, if it's like random people, they're not going to make you learn or forgive you. They're just going to flame you.
Which is why when the thing says Dota's better enjoyed with friends, they mean it. Like, I don't think I would have stuck at this game had I not started with like 3 or 4 of us all starting at the same time and just always stacking together.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Dekait, how did you get into Dota? Is it a big game in Czechia?
No, actually, esports in general is very lowly regarded in society, which is very sad. But we got some players. You got Boom on Viking. That's his
Boom.
Czech.
Boom.
You got the Hypermaniacs, but they are not the best. I can't say I really like them. And how I got into Dota. I remember my cousins played Dota 1, and when I was like 10 years old or maybe a bit older, like 12 years old, I would always watch them. Till this day, I remember watching a game with them through Garena TV, and I was watching Dandy Tinkermit, and for a while, that's why he was my favorite player. And then when Dota 2 came out, I wanted to play, but I couldn't because I didn't have a good PC. So I played like Dota 1 for like 2 weeks, maybe. Not sure how old I was, maybe, I don't know, 15? Something around that. And around the time I also finally got my own PC, I spared enough money. And got PC good enough to run Dota 2. And yeah, so when I was like 15 years old, it's like 6 years back, 5 or 6 years back. I would have to check in Dota when it was my first match, so I can't remember now. But yeah, pretty much I got like most of the stuff that I do, like music, Dota, taste in books and stuff, I got through my cousins. Dota is just another one that's stuck much more onto me. And sadly, they aren't really playing anymore. So
Yeah.
I'm still here, made new friends.
Well,
Yeah.
and that's and I think that's why you're good as well, is because you started with people who already played. It's the younger brother mentality. The younger brother or sister is always grows up to be better than the older sibling, because they had to like learn to compete at a level that they weren't at really quickly.
I actually have a younger brother who used to play Dota and now he doesn't. So I'm very sad. I was gonna make him a legendary player, but apparently he's not interested. So I just gotta carry our family's legacy.
You just gotta get a kid. No, you just get a kid and just teach them Dota and tell them if they don't like it, just tell them shut up and just keep playing.
You don't get a choice.
Just force your kid to be a pro. That's all you have to do.
You fulfill my long lost dream.
It's probably some psycho that's done that.
I think if I ever have kids, I will struggle with that. Like, oh, you're going to be really good at this. Everything they show interest in, I'm going to be like, right, you're going to be the best at that.
Yeah. I mean, it's natural for parents to be like, oh, he likes this. And if your kid likes it, you naturally want him to be good at it. Because surely you can enjoy like this sport and this sport if you're doing like something actively and you put a lot of time into it. It is most enjoyed. I'm not sure who said it, but somebody said that you are only truly enjoying a game when you're really good at it.
I see what they're meaning in terms of like they're getting the fullest experience of the game, so that must mean that they're
I think
enjoying it.
That was the meaning. Like, of course you can enjoy yourself, like even if you're not as good, but it's like I interpreted it more like the possibilities you have, the things you can do.
Yeah, and by game, is it like sports included, or is it just like video
Yeah,
games?
in general, like
Okay, I was
sports,
gonna ask, 'cause I
whatever.
would just say, yeah. Well, what about Witcher? Like, you can enjoy that and be dog shit at it, right?
I have a documentary, dude.
I don't know. I don't know. People, I don't know.
I tried the game and it's fine. I get a relaxing game, but I'm kinda, I don't know. I never really took that great of an interest in like single player games or generally non-competitive games. But
I think,
like,
yeah.
but yeah, I mean, I still play Dota mostly, but I enjoy like I don't know, Heroes of Might and Magic. That's also something I used to play because my cousins played it.
So these cousins, you said they're going to music and books. What musics and books are you talking about?
Books is like generally fantasy.
Oh,
Because,
what type of fantasy? Which authors?
authors like the classic, like George R. R. Martin. Then you got Christopher Paolini. Like I started with the very obvious ones, like Harry Potter.
Oh yeah.
The Lord of the Rings and stuff. And after a while, I just started like looking for books I would like myself.
Do you read any Brandon Sanderson?
No, I don't believe so.
Ooh,
I still have.
People, if you've read, he is the best fantasy author writing right now, and he writes super consistently. He produces like a book a year, kind of.
Oh, so I'm gonna check it out then.
The people, someone not in chat, but someone who's listening will have read him and will be fully agreeing with me right now that he is the best. So,
What's his name?
Brandon Sanderson.
Okay, I'm gonna write it down in my notes.
I'll put it in the chat. I'll put it in Discord because he is. Yeah.
Yeah,
he's like the top selling right now, I think, next to George R. R. Martin.
Been ages since I read a book.
Man, reading's legit,
reading,
man.
bro.
It's legit.
I
wasn't into reading at all, and someone then gave me a book that they thought I'd enjoy, and I kind of like tabled it for ages, and then eventually I got around to reading it because I just thought I'd do it because I'd just be nice and because they gave me a book, and I loved it, and because I loved that book, I was like, oh, okay, now I kind of understand what I like and what I want to read, and then I just find more like that, and now I read quite often, especially with the authors that I have like picked up on. So I think reading, I think they're great gifts. They're brilliant gifts. When you get like a good book and it's like someone's thought about it. It's a nice.
Yeah,
it's a nice
I
nice gift.
Still got like 4, maybe more, maybe like 8 books that I have to read that I got as a present for Christmas, or I don't know if it was Christmas or birthday, because I got birthday on Christmas.
Your birthday is on Christmas?
Yeah.
Oh wow, well, that's lucky. Unlucky, I think.
Yeah, that's usually the reaction that that I get, but I don't mind really. But if anybody has Netflix, recently there was there's this show, what's it called? Shadow and Bone.
Oh, I think I've seen it. I think I've seen it on the little homepage, but I haven't watched it.
Yeah, and it's like two stories meshed together pretty much. Like the one part is from Six of Crows. That's a really good book by late Bardugo. I think that it's pronounced like that. And the thing I like about the author is that he has like multiple books on exploring the fantasy world of his more into depth. Like you could have like this is completely like random, but you could have like I don't know. I once read a book about dwarves. It was pretty much called Dwarves, I believe, and there were all these like evil elves, and then there was also a book about them, and then you have the book about the other race, and it's like the books that I enjoy a lot because you can like more understand the whole thing.
So you like the world building aspect of it?
Yeah,
When
it's
when
very
when you get to like experience a new cultures and new, I know what you mean. Yeah,
it feels like I don't want to say more special, but I think it like makes you more in touch with the characters and stuff.
yeah. I think you if the background is more fleshed out, then yeah, obviously it's going to make more compelling characters because they're going to have more clear motivations, and you're going to understand the motivations more if the backgrounds make sense. Like there's an example that this lecturer gives where he says like imagine there's a glass of water on a table and these two different characters come in. One is from a jungle or one is from like a kind of like a tropical environment where it's lots of rain, and one comes from the desert. They're both going to have very different reactions to that glass of water, because for the person coming from the desert, it's going to be like a prized possession, whereas the person coming from the tropical environment, it won't matter too much. And it's just an interesting. But so yeah, I totally see what you're saying. It does add that layer of depth, which is really cool. Which is why you'd like Sanderson, because he's all about world building, all about it.
Yeah, I very briefly Googled him while we were talking, and I can see very, very positive reviews.
Yes.
So hopefully I'm gonna get through the books I got here soon-ish, and then I'm gonna buy more, because I'm sure if I bought the book, I would just read the book I bought first.
Yeah, rather than the books that have been piling up. Yeah.
And then I was like, oh, this guy's pretty good. I'm gonna buy more books from him.
And also, if you get that job back at the hotel, and you're just sitting, like, the reading is good.
yeah. There's a lot of free time, so for sure it would come in handy, some books.
But to be honest, boys, I have been off work I was off work yesterday because I was feeling like rubbish. I've been feeling rubbish. I think I said I was feeling bad last week on the podcast.
Yeah. Do you have COVID?
Well, I'm showing a bit of symptoms. So I do a lateral flow test at home, which is just like a little, which you just put like your sample onto a little strip and it tells you. But I went to the big bad place today to get a proper test, and I'll get my results in about 24 hours. So I don't know, but I felt a bit better today, so I started driving into work. And I've worked in a few different schools, and this is the school I'm at is in a more challenging area than some of the schools I've worked in before, but they're so much better. They're like I was like midway on my drive into work, and I got a phone call being like from the head teacher being like, I heard you're coming in. You need to go home. I was like, I feel a lot better. And they're like, no, take the time. And I was like, how many workplaces phone you to tell you not to come in to take more time to feel better? I was like, man, I really appreciate that.
What do you mean by challenging area?
It's a dump.
No. It's the demographic is probably lower on the income scale, and there's a thing called the attainment gap it's in every country, but in Scotland they call it the attainment gap, which is income inequality gap, which is lower income areas yield worse school results, and it's a direct correlation.
Yeah, usually because they don't have the adequate resources and stuff like that.
Nope.
Really?
It's more like motivation.
It's nothing.
It's how they grow up.
It's because of the upbringing.
Oh,
if their parents are like low have a low-paying job, they're very often very uneducated, right? So therefore, they don't care as much about education as like educated parenthood. I
Yeah,
guess
and
if
it's not even that. It's as well as the kind of opportunities that kids are given access to are less, which means that they're getting less development from less kind of stimuli. There's also what's the other thing I was thinking of? Oh, like there's these thing called adverse child experiences, ACEs, and they like stress. The emotion of stress produces a hormone which is really damaging to brain development, and kids that live in these environments often are subjected to more stress. Therefore, their brains are subjected to less conducive environment for development. Yeah, so
I got a question, boys.
You
There's no-
see.
yeah,
Surfix, don't get stressed
I'm not,
Easy.
over games.
not stressed. I got a question, boys. Can we